Hey everyone, today we will understand why Commvault release maintenance generally we called as MR. Okay, here we are trying to understand why Commvault release maintenance, also known as MR, and why it is important for backup administration because you are working as a backup admin. Commvault release maintenance updates to improve product stability, fix known bugs, apply security patches, enhance performance, and provide support for the latest technologies like cloud platforms, operating system, and applications. So, before upgrading any Commvault environments, it is very important to review the MR release notes because before every upgrade, Commvault release a KB articles. It is very important to review the MR release notes because these notes help us to understand what issues are fixed and what new features, listen carefully, what new features, um, what new features they added, okay, and in no limitations and the possible impacts on our existing backup setup. That means existing backup environment. You can say existing backup environment. Okay. So, a proper understanding of MR updates help us reduce the risk, like backup job failed. Because earlier I noticed that after patches release or patches update in CV SaaS, a lot of backup job failed. A lot of backup job failed, but I don't know why it's failing. Okay. So a proper understanding of MR updates help us reduce risk, avoid backup failures, improve system performance, and keep our Commvault environment. Commvault environment, that means a backup environment. You know very well, backup environment, secure and reliable. So always review the MR details before planning any Commvault upgrade. But in CV says it's a very different. It's not rely on the customer basis. Okay. So a maintenance release in Commvault Cloud is the service role update cycle that delivers cumulative fixes, security remediations, reliability tuning, and the selected enhancement. So what is MR? MR is MR is nothing but it's a maintenance release. What is that? Maintenance release. Cumulative package of fixes and hardening can include performance and usability updates. In SaaS, you can focus on this. In SaaS, applied by Commvault to hosted services, visible to customer through the update behavior nodes and the controls. Here we are going to discuss what we need to check post update. Okay. So why regular SaaS update matter? Why it is matter? Is the common question in our mind. Shorter vulnerability, remediation cycles, faster connections, not connection, faster correction of backup, restore defects, continuous improvement without customer-led control panel maintenance. That means without customer environment. If you are if you are using a backup, I mean, if you are using a Commvault as a backup tool, so in SaaS, your involvement is zero, nothing. You just need to monitor it. Okay. Keeps cloud operation predictable and supportable. Backup architect, cloud infrastructure team, L2 and L3 operations, IT leadership. Why I mentioned in the slide for these four core team because they need to understand is L1 or L2 operations and even the IT leads who lead the backup environment. They know the understand, they know each and everything after update. What we need to understand, what we need to check after the update. For SaaS customer, the operations focus is not installing the update. That's the key points. It is understanding control panel changes, validating the data plane. You can see the data and improving recoverability after the release. Okay. So sometime what I can see in our environment, I'm just giving my example. Backup start failing. Backup start failing due to XYZ reason. I don't know why the backups are failing, but after that I'm checking. I checked. There's a few updates by the Commvault SaaS. The patches are going on. Okay. Sometimes I saw the dashboard as well. If you talk about no, if you talk about the dashboard, sometimes I monitor the dashboard as well. So what I observed, some features are missing. I just go to the Commvault support, raise a case with Commvault, and try to understand the situation. What is the reason why the data is not populated correctly in our environment? Okay, so they give the explanation, yeah, with the artifacts like KV articles. They are patching their Commvault environment. Okay, Commvault Cloud SaaS Architect Overview. How the SaaS control panel coordinates product protection across the customer managed data plane. This is the SaaS control panel, your command center. There is a many APIs, policy orchestration, monitoring, and reporting. In in dashboard, let me open up. Let me open up just a simple page for you. Okay. So what I'm thinking here, okay, no worries. Let me explain here. This is your dashboard. Okay. Here use your VMs, your machines. Here is how many clients are successful, how many clients are failed. I mean, I'm just talking about the of backup. Rate of backup. That means let's 80% backups are successful, 20% are failed. So you can easily monitor this structure in your dashboard. Okay. Customer environment connected the cloud accounts, protect workloads where we can see VM, SQL, Oracle, file servers, Kubernetes, SaaS apps, cloud events. Okay. Production data sees in customer control system the MR updates service logic, not the application data itself. Try to understand this line. Whereas the access note and the media agent as well perform the discovery, snapshot, data movement, indexing, and the restore. Inputs plans and moves data between workloads and storage. May run a customer VMs at the cloud instances. Then cloud object storage, object archive targets, primary or secondary or tertiary copy as well in some environment. Okay, and there is a retention layer as well where we can define. I mean, retention layer. I already I was make a video on this. Policy governance retentions, copies. In many environment, I can see there's a three copies. Okay, so there's a multiple things. Let's jump to the next slide. Maintenance release cycle. Here you please try to focus on this from the engineer to the customer reliability. Development code changes, workload updates, UI API refinements. This is done by the CVSS team. Security updates, static analysis, dependency review, and the vulnerability remediations. Internal testing, regression workload, verification, scale, and upgrade testing. I'm just explain here the cycles, what the cycles are they follow. Release approval, quality gates, change review, operation, sign off. SaaS deployment SRE can phased rollout, the service configuration health checks. Customer availability release becomes the active in tenant experience and the documentation. Quality gates front load risk, reduction before production. SaaS deployment is then handled by the Commvault operation rather than by the customer administration. That means you cannot do anything. In single word, you cannot do anything. Okay. If you raise a let's an example. If you raise a question, okay, If you raise a question with if you raise a question um with whom? With Commvault support, okay? With Commvault support, then what? They generally try to engage their operation team. Okay, if type of questions, there is a different reasons why the backups fail. Okay, they sometimes need their operations engineer team over the call to explain the customer's overviews. Okay, engineering objectives, deliver cumulative fixes and the minimal disruption. Operational objective, validate health before, during, after the rollout. Customer, you are the end user. You are the end user. Receive the update faster with the less manual effort. You need to validate each and everything. Okay. No control panel patching task, but there is still operational validation task. Okay. Try to understand this word. What changes inside an MR? Typical contents of the Commvault maintenance release package. Security updates, product bug fixes, performance, enhancement, reliability. Sometimes end user like me and you as a backup administration and using a CV SaaS for the backup of your data. Okay, so we come up with why we are seeing this type of dashboard or the backups fail. Okay, so they come up with their answer with their explanation. Vulnerability fixes, authentication session, third party library, refresh, hardening of the service component, backup product works, backup operation correction, restore workflow fixes, reporting SLA correction. This is very weird for me. They report incorrect data sometime. Console and API detect fixes, performance. Let's jump to the third one. Job processing optimization, query efficiency improvements, even the faster UI response path, scalability. Okay, tell me one thing. If you're watching this video, how many viewers are working on a CV SaaS currently? First question. And second, uh, you are facing CV SaaS console or not? For me, it's very slow. If you're talking about the console now, it's very slow for me. New backup capabilities, new workload coverage, better workflow automation, improved administrability, reliability, service stability improvements, backend tuning, retries, cache index operation, better vault handling. These are the fixes which we include in the MR. Okay. Let's jump to the next slide. I think it's long for you, but it's very important for you as well. Okay. So let's just, jump to the next one. That is a SaaS control panel, where you can monitor each and everything. And if you are working as a backup admin, then really it's helpful for you. What is typical update in the Commvault hosted service layer? Command center, UI flows, dashboard, setting pages. In web services, orchestration, tendency logic, service endpoints, APIs, REST APIs. You know the very well of the REST APIs because today's environment is called as AI. So REST APIs is using everywhere. Payloads, token, automation hooks, monitoring services, health check, alert generation, event processing, report engine, queries, metrics, pipelines, report, and read. So what admin may notice, you are working as a backup admin. So what you need to notice, what's your task? If anyone in the shift and the maintenance is going on, then what's their work at that time. Refresh command center screens and revise the workflow. API schema behavior changes in the edge cases, sort live UI latency. While caches worm are report jobs rerun. Session revalidation after identify or token hardening. What usually does not change? Customer protection data. This is very common. I mean, this is very important as well because if customer data change, then it's very hamper. Okay. Customer protection data may not modify by the MR itself. Backup already stored in the cloud storage remain intact. Protect workload do not get changed just because the SaaS UI changes. Protected workload do not get changed just because the SaaS UI. Okay. Um. Here a question for you. What is log chain? What is log change? Try to explain me. If you have any questions, let me know. I will try to your answer. And second thing, what is log commit? Okay, log commit. How log commit work? I will explain in the coming lecture. Let's jump to the next slide. Data plan impact, control panel, policies, schedules, status, authentication as well. In control panel, media agent access node, receive policy refresh, maintain data paths, and may reconnect or refresh service dependent on scope. Multiple backup agents. We need to check heartbeats, discovery snapshot, workload, calls, continue if connectivity and compatibility are healthy. So sometimes I'm just giving an example for you. Sometimes backup is stuck. Okay. So what we need to check? We need to check what? Like client connectivity, network. There's many things we need to check. Okay. Protected system, database, file server, VM cloud, Kubernetes SaaS. Okay. Media agent, I just explained it. Media agent, check services, job queues, mount and restore paths. Database, confirm the latest full or the log backups and the recovery points. Browser, sometimes you need to check the PITR. You need to tell me what is the PITR. Okay. Cloud workloads, revalidate the credentials, app registration and API limits. You can easily check in your environment that is revalidate credentials. Okay. Backup agent, check heartbeat, version support, failed job retries. File servers, reviews the NAS, ACL, SMB related failures are the retries. Okay. Sometimes authentication is the main key. Authentication is the main reason to fail the file servers. Okay. So let's jump to the next slide. Database backup impact analysis. What you can do, what you need to check, backup behavior. Why I included this topic for you? Because it's very important for you. First thing, in every backup maintenance release, we saw the many backups failed and we received many incident. If you're talking about the ServiceNow tool, so it is a ServiceNow tool. Maybe some you have some different ticketing tool. So you received many incident, many alerts in your queue. Okay, backup behavior, transaction and the archive logs, running job during the maintenance, restore validation, failure patterns to watch, running jobs during the maintenance and failures pattern to watch. That means you need to monitor your jobs, those jobs which are running during the maintenance window. Okay, they are running during the maintenance window. Okay, in flight data movement often continues if the data path is stable. What may lag briefly is UI status, scheduling and handoff. So treat the queued or delayed status update as a single to investigate, not immediately as a proof of data loss. Retry only after checking the service health. Got it? So you need to check these things. I hope you are getting my point. Okay. Why I included this database backup impact analysis, because in many environment we saw the multiple backup jobs failure due to the maintenance release, and we don't know what we do. Okay, multiple backup jobs in queue, but we don't know what we need to take action. Okay, let's jump to the next slide. Post MR validation checklist. It's for you. Login test. Verify the SSO or the local auth, rule visibility, or session stability or not. Failed jobs. Isolate new failures from the pre-existing noise, then try to re-escalate. If they not resolved, they are not running successfully, then you can rerun the backup jobs, and if not get successful, then you can escalate with your internal team. Reports confirm SLA health executive dashboard are populated correctly. Backup success confirm at least one recent successful job on each critical workload classes. You are backing the multiple database. You are backing the multiple database, multiple file servers. But in your environment, some have the tier 0 application. You need to validate this one. Agent connectivity, validate the access node, media agent, service workload are reachability or not. Their reaches or not. Connectivity are successful or not. Okay. Restore test. Run one controlled restore or browse action for the highest risk workload tier. I just say now there is some in your environment, some applications have the tier 0 that is very critical. So you can test your environment after the MR release, that to test that restore is getting successful without any issue. We can restore. You can see your leaders that we can restore any data after the MR, after the updates, after the CV says update. We can restore anything from our environment if anyone want. Okay, so and you have the confidence to restore your data. You are working as a backup engineer. Okay, let's jump to the next one. Common issues after the MR and troubleshooting. Uh, this is a basic but very helpful for you. Typically, we can monitor that dashboard lag. SLA number look still. As I earlier said, this is maybe we can see this lag. Okay, SLA number looks stale. That means false. Our backups of success is 99.9%, but in dashboard you can watch is 80%, 80 to 20% ratio. So this is the SLA number hook stale. Reports are incomplete. You are trying to fetch the OX report from your dash UI dash CV SAS dash report, but unfortunately it populated the incorrect data. Got it? Catch warm up report ETL backlog, service restart. First action refresh after 15 to 30 minutes. Compare with the direct job views. Verify the reporting service health. Okay. Authentication issue, backup failures, communication error. These are the common changes you may see in your environment after every CV SaaS update. This is the common changes. New jobs failure, queued jobs, policy evaluation errors. Okay, so there's a number of changes you can see in your environment, but few are more important you to monitor closely. Okay, like GUI authentication, backup failures, communication error. So you need to monitor after every CV says update. What's the cycle in your environment? I don't know. Okay, but you need to monitor. And if you don't know what the cycle the Commvault follows, then you can easily talk to Commvault support. That's what's the cycle you are following to upgrade our CV SaaS environment. I need to check few things before and after the upgrade. Got it? Enterprise monitoring after the MR. I know this video is lengthy, but it's very important for you. Command center. Use it first for the tenant health policy views, alerts, route high volume failures, authentication anomalies, and communication error between the SRE and channels. Logs. Dynatrace. Splunk and Dynatrace, you can ignore this time because these are the monitoring tool. Um, I don't know I don't know you which tool you are using to monitor your environment. Okay. So if you using Splunk or the Dynatrace, then Dynatrace has a support monitoring app pattern. Dynatrace is commonly fed via webhook, syslog, and a customer custom event ingestion. I will come to the this point in coming lecture, how the Dynatrace, how we can integrate Dynatrace with our Commvault environment. But for now, both are the monitoring tool. You need to monitor that the log ingestion or the logs are, you can say the forward logs are working fine or not. Okay, so these are the few things. Let's jump to the next slide. This is also very important. Okay, so what's comparison area? What you need to comparison before and after. Primary purpose, typical cadence, change breadth, risk profile, testing emphasis, SaaS customer action. Maintenance release, feature platform release, then the hot fixes. You need to pause. I mean, you can pause the video and go through all these components. What you need to check. Okay, but here what we need to monitor. What's the primary? What's the consequence? You can pause the video and go through this each and every component. Backup action. Keep a release calendar. Save your calendar. Read the notes with the intent. Tier workloads by the business criticality. Validate the validate the tier 1 restore first. Do not treat all workloads equally. Okay. You have development account. You have non-prod account. You have production account environment. So you don't need to restore each and everything. You are just testing the updates now. Standardize the data plane version, automatic smoke test. Uh, I mean, who's watching this video, tell me more about this smoke test. Okay, baseline before the every MR maintenance release, integrate external monitoring, maintain escalation runbook. You can create one runbook for your environment. This if you're working as L2 and L3, this is very helpful. And if you gonna and made a one run book for your team now, this is very helpful. If you offline, if you are on leave, then whoever in the shift, they can easily validate each and everything in for your environment. Please don't create a dependency on you. Run Create a run book and give to your team that please validate these things after every update. And for run book are the some SOP, the easily helpful for the engineers, And I hope from this your leadership is very happy. Okay, let's jump to the next slide. What key learning summary? In SaaS, the release is deployed by Commvault. Your job is validate outcomes. In first slide, I told that we don't need to do anything, but as customer, your job is to validate outcomes. The control panel change first, so start with login, dashboard, alert, APIs, and reports. The data plan usually keeps working, but media agents and the credentials still need health checks. Database and restore validation matter more than green dashboard alone. Your job is not to monitor just dashboard. Database and restore validations is more matter than your green dashboard. What does it mean? You say that dashboard is working, that dashboard is looking good. Your job is not to stop here. You need to validate your database and restore as well. Baseline monitoring and runbooks make maintenance release operationally boring, which is the goal. Okay, I hope you understand each and every slide. Okay, I'm not going to word you, but this is last slide for you. And here I have questions for you. Which workloads are integration in your environment would you validate first after a Commvault Cloud update, CV SaaS update? Okay, let's comment, provide your answer in the comment section. What is your post MR validation sequence so that I can also revalidate our slides and make a new video for you if you make a correction on this. Which reports and alerts prove the service health for leadership? This is very, very important. Which reports alerts prove service health for your leadership? I'm saying reports. So reports, that means which reports? Last 24 hours job is sufficient for your leadership? Are you just send a dashboard report that after the maintenance I checked the few things and working fine? So you can tell me which reports and alerts prove service health for leadership. Which DB database are the cyber recovery restored? Do we first test first? Tell me each and everything. Okay. So thank you for watching. Let's meet in the next coming lecture. I hope you try to learn new things here, and let's subscribe and let me know what your points, your thoughts in maintenance release. What's your sequence? Okay, let's meet in this in coming lecture. Thank you.